It's the 17th day of the second month, in the 8th year after Adam's creation, and the first tale of Satan's temptation unfolds, not one of high-tech intrigue or daring escapades, but a foundational story of humanity's first inhabitants, Adam and Eve. Created in perfect harmony with their surroundings and endowed with freedom, they lived in a paradise, tending to the garden and enjoying the fruits of divine providence. They were given only one explicit rule by God when they lived in the Garden of Eden. God commanded them not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They knew neither sorrow nor pain, and their days were filled with the beauty and bounty of their idyllic home. But could this perfection last? This tale begins with a serpent's whisper. A cunning, smooth-tongued serpent slithers into their peaceful lives. With subtle words, he plants the seeds of doubt and desire, tempting Adam and Eve to step beyond mere obedience into the realm of forbidden knowledge. Why did they listen? How does this moment of temptation reveal the deeper struggles within us all? The tranquility of Eden, the serpent's guile, a fateful decision at the tree of knowledge. This encounter encapsulates the eternal conflict between divine command and self-willed curiosity, highlighting the blessings of obedience alongside the allure of autonomy. As we continue, watch for these signs that you, like Adam and Eve, may be confronting the subtle enticements of darker forces. The first sign is persistent temptation to sin. Imagine a constant whisper tempting you towards darkness. This is the persistent temptation to sin. Like a siren song, it subtly beckons you to step off the righteous path into actions that your conscience rejects. This lure isn't overt. Instead, it's a background noise growing louder during moments of weakness, presenting itself in seemingly harmless decisions that escalate over time. Everyday situations, like bypassing a queue or embellishing a resume, might seem trivial, but they set the stage for greater ethical breaches. The danger lies not in a single act, but in a gradual descent, where small compromises lead to significant moral failings. The Bible offers guidance on resisting such temptations, as seen in 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Resisting this requires continuous vigilance. It's about reinforcing your spirit with daily affirmations of your values and keeping a clear perspective on right and wrong. Surrounding yourself with ethical individuals and engaging in regular self-reflection can anchor you, helping to drown out the persistent calls to stray. The second sign is antagonism toward religious practices. Imagine once finding solace in religious rituals and spaces, only to suddenly feel an intense aversion. This isn't mere disinterest, but a deep-seated repulsion that makes sacred spaces seem oppressive, turning prayer and worship into sources of anxiety and discomfort. This shift might be triggered by personal disillusionment, negative experiences associated with religious settings, or a growing skepticism about spiritual doctrines. For those experiencing this change, sacred hymns and scriptures might now provoke cynicism rather than comfort, transforming places of worship from sanctuaries into battlegrounds of inner conflict. This antagonism towards religious practices can strain relationships with family and friends who remain engaged and find meaning in these traditions. Navigating this spiritual disconnect requires open, non-judgmental dialogue and possibly redefining one's relationship with spirituality. Exploring alternative forms of spiritual expression or seeking guidance from unbiased advisors might help reconcile or reshape one's spiritual path, ensuring it aligns more authentically with current beliefs and feelings. The third is dramatic personality shifts. Imagine someone undergoing dramatic personality shifts, transforming from a familiar character into someone almost unrecognizable. Once calm and measured, they might suddenly exhibit aggression or engage in deceit, leaving friends and family puzzled and concerned. This isn't just a simple change in mood or a new phase, it's a profound alteration in how they interact with the world. Such shifts might stem from unresolved issues like stress, trauma, or dissatisfaction with life circumstances, which can push individuals to adopt new, sometimes destructive behaviors. External influences, such as new social circles that encourage harmful practices, can also play a significant role. For those witnessing these changes, the experience can be jarring. Instead of attempting to coerce the person back to their old self, which can create further alienation, it's more effective to engage in open, supportive dialogue. This approach helps explore the reasons behind the changes and can guide the individual toward professional help if needed, aiding them in navigating this turbulent transformation. Next up is number 4 on the list, preoccupation with the occult. Imagine someone becoming deeply engrossed in the occult, tarot, astrology, or other mystical practices. Initially, this may seem like a harmless exploration of curiosity, but it can quickly evolve into a consuming passion that overshadows more traditional beliefs and values. The allure of these activities often lies in their promise of revealing hidden knowledge or exerting control over the uncertainties of life. However, this fascination can lead to potential conflicts with one's foundational values and cause a shift in personal or cultural identity. For those deeply involved, the preoccupation with the occult can be isolating. As their interests shift towards esoteric knowledge, they might find themselves pulling away from family and friends who do not share or understand their new pursuits. This can lead to a feeling of alienation as conversations and social interactions begin to revolve exclusively around their occult interests. Addressing this requires a balanced approach. Engaging in open discussions about the reasons behind this fascination can help individuals explore their interests healthily and maintain their relationships. It's important to remain connected to a diverse social network and continue engaging in a wide range of activities. This balanced lifestyle can prevent the occult from dominating one's life and help maintain a healthy perspective and social integration. The 5th sign Satan is trying to entice you is isolation from loved ones. Imagine someone gradually distancing themselves from family and friends, drawn instead towards new groups or individuals known for their harmful or dangerous behaviors. This isolation often begins subtly but can deepen into a significant withdrawal as the individual seeks connection or validation from sources outside their traditional support network. Such shifts might be driven by a desire to escape from existing pressures, a search for identity, or a need for acceptance that feels unmet within their usual circles. The new associations, while initially appealing due to their novelty or promise of freedom, can lead to increased exposure to risky behaviors and further estrangement from one's foundational relationships. For those observing this withdrawal, it's crucial to respond with empathy rather than judgment. Reaching out with understanding and open communication can help bridge the growing gap. It's important to express concern and offer support, encouraging the individual to reflect on their choices and consider the long-term impacts of their new associations. The 6th sign is desire for power and control. Imagine someone developing an overwhelming desire to dominate and control others, a stark transformation from their previous demeanor. This desire for power can manifest in various settings, from professional environments to personal relationships, driving the individual to use manipulation or unethical methods to gain influence and authority. This shift often arises from deep-seated insecurities or unfulfilled ambitions, pushing the person to assert control as a means to validate their self-worth or achieve their goals. The quest for dominance can corrode personal values, leading to actions that prioritize personal gain over the well-being of others. For those around the individual, this change can be distressing and damaging. Interactions become transactions, with every conversation turning into a power play. Addressing this issue effectively involves confronting the behavior directly, offering feedback about its impact in a clear and constructive manner, encouraging the individual to explore healthier ways to express their ambitions and assertiveness through professional development or therapy, can help realign their actions with their core values. Moral decay is the 7th sign. Imagine witnessing someone you know well undergo a noticeable decline in ethical or moral behavior. This person, once principled and upright, begins showing a blatant disregard for the welfare of others, engaging in acts of cruelty or malice. Their decisions, once guided by a moral compass, now seem driven by selfish desires or a cynical view of the world. This moral decay can be triggered by various factors, such as a disheartening personal setback, continuous exposure to corrupt environments, or a gradual disillusionment with societal norms that they perceive as hypocritical or unjust. As these individuals lose faith in the values they once held dear, their actions may increasingly reflect this loss, leading them to justify behavior that they previously would have condemned. For those around them, this transformation can be both confusing and painful. It challenges relationships and can lead to a sense of betrayal, as the moral framework that once formed the basis of their connection appears to crumble. To address this troubling shift, it is important to engage in honest dialogues that not only confront the harmful behaviors, but also explore their underlying causes. Offering support and understanding can sometimes help the individual reflect on their choices and consider the possibility of regaining their ethical bearings. However, maintaining personal boundaries is also crucial to prevent one's own values from being compromised. The 8 signs Satan has chosen you is corruption of the innocent. Imagine someone who once championed integrity and kindness, now finding pleasure in leading others astray, particularly targeting those vulnerable or inexperienced. This person, who previously exemplified moral strength, now seems to revel in corrupting innocence, persuading others to abandon their values for more dubious pursuits. This troubling shift often stems from a deep-seated need to exert influence or control, possibly driven by unresolved personal issues or a desire to compensate for feelings of inadequacy or powerlessness. By leading others down a harmful path, they not only assert dominance, but also validate their own choices by having others mirror their behavior. For those who observe this transformation, it's a distressing and disillusioning experience. Confronting such behavior head-on can be challenging, as it may be met with denial or aggression. However, it's crucial to address these actions, especially to protect and support those being misled. Providing clear, firm boundaries and offering guidance to those influenced can help mitigate the damage. Encouraging the individual to seek help through counseling or therapy can also be a step toward addressing the root causes of their behavior and potentially reversing this harmful pattern. The last sign is loss of empathy and love. Imagine someone who was once empathetic and compassionate, now exhibiting a significant reduction in their ability to empathize with others. This person, previously warm and caring, now interacts with coldness and hostility, showing little concern for the feelings or well-being of those around them. This loss of empathy can stem from various causes such as emotional burnout, personal traumas, or the gradual buildup of unresolved grievances that harden the heart. It might also be influenced by a more self-centered worldview, where the individual prioritizes their own needs and desires at the expense of others' feelings. For friends and family witnessing this change, the transformation can be deeply troubling. They may feel alienated or hurt by the newfound indifference or even hostility. Addressing this issue involves approaching the person with care and concern, initiating conversations that explore their emotional state without judgment. It's important to encourage them to express what has led to this shift and to seek professional help if necessary. Rebuilding empathy is not always easy and requires a willingness to engage with one's own vulnerabilities and to reconnect with the feelings of others. Support from loved ones can be crucial in this process, offering patience and understanding as the person learns to open up and rekindle their capacity for compassion and connection. These 9 signs illustrate the profound challenges individuals may face as they stray from the path of righteousness as outlined in Christian teachings. Each sign serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of deviating from the ethical and moral standards upheld by Jesus and chronicled throughout the Bible.